Okay, going to talk about balance. This is just something I was thinking about earlier, and how every process that you're taking part in requires a bit of experimentation to find the appropriate balance. And I was going to illustrate that with a wave. And this is not the best illustration. I might mix this up. I might call an audible, but let me see. Got to make sure I have my dirty t-shirt eraser handy. And let's actually zoom in a little bit here. Okay, so let's draw a wave. Is that good? I can't see anything. It'll do. Okay, so this is kind of a almost ready to surf wave, right? It's just starting to kind of crest and it's going to start leaning over there, right? And if we were going to describe where to be on that wave, if you wanted to surf it, there would be kind of an appropriate middle ground, right? Not too far to the right, not too far to the left, okay? If you're back here, well, nothing's happening. Like there's no movement, nothing going on, right? And let's see, if you're right here, you got a big problem because that wave is going to go whoop and just crush you, okay? And let's see, we've got, right here. This isn't so good either. It's not like a disaster, but the funny thing is when you're on the backside of a wave, as it passes you by, you tend to slip back. So it's actually kind of if you were trying to go that way as far as possible, which is kind of surfing, that would be counterproductive. And if you were right here, you're definitely, you're at a dangerous point there because you're probably gonna go over the top and just free fall and go for a ride in the washing machine. And let's see, if you were right about, there, now you can do some surfing. I don't actually surf, but I've seen waves before. Anyway, I just wanted to point out, here's another spot, you're not going to catch that wave, you're going to get crushed, and on and on. But there's a sweet spot right there. And being able to find the sweet spot and giving yourself a little bit of a break when you're figuring out where that sweet spot is really important, because you can't expect to just start in a new endeavor and know how to surf. That's a skill that takes time. Now I was also thinking about this in terms of that pie chart that I drew a few videos ago. Now that pie chart, something sort of like this, which I kind of kept cutting these sections in half continually, always in half, in half, in half, until you're basically left with nothing. And the idea behind this was that if these are all of the different efforts that you're putting towards an endeavor, most of the impact is coming from a few big things. And there's going to be a lot of little things that don't produce very much forward movement, okay? And if we were going to stick with our surfing metaphor here, this might be, time spent trying to surf, right? Like that's the thing that's the most important. And then over here might be, like say, talking with other surfers and learning from other surfers. And then this one might be researching the different aspects of hydrology or so. I don't know. But you see, like, this is the important one, this is the important one, and then it starts getting not so important. And then way up here is like the specific boards that you're using. It's sort of like, it kind of matters, but if you're stuck on the specific board before you've spent a lot of time trying to surf, then you're putting the cart before the horse. And there's something about this that, the way I've illustrated it here doesn't exactly, it's not perfect. And what I kind of wanted to amend or how I wanted to amend my previous illustration when I previously covered this idea was that the items that are kind of here going around this way, right? As you go around this weird pie chart, the inputs, which are represented here, they tend to create the potential for anti-progress. I have no brain right now. So like this is definitely helpful, this is definitely helpful, definitely helpful, a little less helpful, maybe helpful, and then probably not helpful, definitely not helpful. Like the potential for these items up here to actually set you back gets higher. As you get into these little things, if you're putting energy into this, yeah, it might move you towards your goal, but it might also regress you if you're focusing on that before you focused on the 1, 2, and 3 biggest things that you really should be focusing on. I want a different way of illustrating this, and I haven't yet figured out what that is. And it could just be on a line. It could just be a spectrum where you've got ways of doing things, and when you're over in this way, they might be a negative influence, and over here they would be a positive influence. And you gotta figure out which of your foci, like that, focuses, which of your foci are actually moving you forward, and which of them might not be doing anything when you're stuck here in the middle, and which of them might actually be hurting your progress, moving you backwards, making it harder. That's it. My wife is home, so we're done.